Hey guys, this is undercoverdudes all the way from Down Under, and today we're going to be talking about the new map in Combat Arms called Castle Storm, otherwise known as DE Cobblestone from Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I know it's a lame joke and all, but this map takes a lot of inspiration, and today we're going to be talking about two things: the map Castle Storm, and we're also going to be talking about the visionary M416CQB. Now, starting out with the map, Castle Storm is, in my opinion, it's a decent map. When you go and have a look at the quality of the textures, you have a look at the color palette of the map, it's a little bit uninspiring. And I'm going to start off with the negatives first, because I usually start off with the positive. When you go and have a look at the map, it really doesn't look too inspiring in terms like the colors are very samey, and then the textures are quite low quality when you have a look at them very close up. And of course, that is due to the Combat Arms engine and all. But I think Nexon could have put a little bit more work in differentiating the different parts of the map, because everything looks a little bit the same. Now let's go into the map structure itself, and I'm a really big fan of maps that you can go and play it many different ways. Like, I'm a dynamic player. I don't like to go and play all long range, or all short range, or all medium range. I like to go and mix it up, and you can go and see in my gameplays, I play depending on what I feel is right for the match. And I like maps that can really go and work with any play style that I choose to go and implement. For example, Oil Rig, one of my favorite maps. I can play it long range, I can play it rushing, I can play it medium range. Perfect map. Castle Storm is not a map of the Oil Rig caliber, but overall the structure, you can go and play a few different ways. More along the lines of, if you have a sniper rifle, you're going to be at a very significant advantage, because there is some very long range scenarios. An M107 CQSE would be absolutely perfect for this map, going sniping very long range with a double scope. But you could also go and use, let's say, an assault rifle, submachine gun in those, more tight and up close and personal areas, and it would still be quite useful as well. Because at the moment, if you're playing as a sniper, it is very easy just to sit back and have basically complete faith that nobody's going to go and rush you unless your teammates are just really stupid. But overall, the structure is a little bit weird, like running along the edges, but it goes and makes for some, pretty interesting gameplay. And if you're skilled enough, you can go and work around the map. You can go and definitely have a lot of fun, but a lot of the time it is a bit of a sniper fest, which isn't really my preferred way to go and play. That's why I don't really like Kill Creek as much. But with Kill Creek, you have the opportunity to go and flank people really easily. In this map, you don't have that opportunity so much. But overall, I think Castle Storm is a pretty decent map. Will it go just into the depths where all the other maps are for Combat Arms and people just go back to Oil Rig? More than likely, but I think it's a map that I'll personally go and bust out in a live stream once in a while, because, it is a fun map to go and play on, especially if you're going to play, let's say, Quarantine Regen, or you're going to go and play like some more wacky modes. I think that would be really cool, with the whole verticality aspect that you can go and snipe down on people, and then you can have, it's a little bit annoying. A completely tangent. It's a little bit annoying having, the Hornets there, so no explosives is a little bit important to go and run. But overall, I think, it is an okay map. It's not the best map in the world, but, it's up there with maps that are playable at least. Now, the last thing I want to go and talk about is the visionary M416CQB. Now, this weapon, I'm not going to spend too long on it. Basically, this weapon has absolutely no reason to be in this game at all. KDR HP Vision. You equip that, and then you have it on every weapon. But why does this weapon simply be a complete reskin? Not even a reskin, it's literally taking the normal M416CQB and then putting KDR HP Vision on it. I'm going to call Nexon out on this. It's basically a cash grab, and I don't really think it's, the best thing to go and implement into a game if you want to become more competitive. Competitive games, you don't go and see the HP of your enemy. You don't see the KDR of your enemy. I'd think that removing a whole KDR HP Vision element from the game would be quite a good idea. Not implementing it. They're trying to go and make the game more competitive. This is definitely not going to push in the game in a more competitive way. Now, talking about competitive, the spec rework, I'm not going to spend very long. I'm actually going to go and leave it for another commentary for next week. But basically, when I hopped into the game yesterday, the first room I was in was full of miniguns and M32 on Death Room. The room was called Nade Room, but regardless, I think that a lot of people have seen these new specialist weapons, and when they first see them, they buy it, they get right on the bandwagon, and then they use them for a couple games, and then they realize that, it's not so good. So I'm going to wait till the game kind of dies down and the whole fad of going and running around with miniguns and M32s, and then I'll go and comment on it, and then I'll go and see of how bad, or how good of an effect it has on the game. But overall, it seems like it's been okay. The compensation, however, I got to go and talk about that as well, but that is a very, very, very big topic. But hopefully, you guys enjoyed this commentary. If you did, make sure to go and give it a like rating. But other than that, Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.